and then put a deal out.
Yeah, right, you're good to go. Good to go.
All right,
Oh, okay.
all right, good morning. We have a quorum here this morning. For this time, let us go ahead and start the meeting. No public comments. Okay. This time we'll have the minutes of the meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
We've got a motion, a second to approve the minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Moving on to item two, I guess, let's see. All right. Okay. Development. Yes, the development updates.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get started.
Okay.
All right, so this morning we're gonna give a development update on 2024, and then the economic performance report. And this is covering, as you guys know, the area of Shirley Town Square. So we're first gonna start with our office occupancy rate. So you'll see in 2023, it was about 73%. In 2024, it has dropped to around 69. We all know the office market is hurting right now nationwide, but Sugar Land Town Square is actually remaining pretty strong in comparison. Sugar Land is a city, the vacancy rate is around 26%, the Houston market is 30%. So Sugar Land's still doing fairly well. This doesn't account for leases that are signed that are not active yet, which is when you factor those in, this would actually bump up to around 72%. So really not that much of a decline. They were able to renew some of their long-term leases and actually they have a current agreement with Regis. It's a co-working brand, and that's kind of limited some uses that can happen within the property. They renegotiated that lease, which is actually allowing for other co-working spaces and other things to come on the site. So they're working really hard to kind of continue to attract people to this property, and we are finding that the demand is staying because of the mixed use aspect of this property. When people are coming back to work, this is the type of environment they are wanting to be in. So assessed values, we kind of showcased this the last meeting around budget. You'll see there's a huge drop in the assessed values for the office in 2024. Very large. We haven't gotten any justification from the Fort Bend CAD as to why this has occurred. We keep pushing for some justification, but we've yet to receive it. We do know that the ownership group did protest some of the assessments, but we still don't really feel that should justify a 50% decrease over the years. But we're still kind of looking into that. So for restaurant and retail, this kind of has been changing over the course of the years. Reeves has really tried to kind of right size the property, mix restaurant with retail. Before you kind of saw your restaurants on one side, retail on the other. So they've really been trying to kind of separate the spread. So currently there's 28 restaurants. It's around 113,000 square feet, and then 23 retail stores, which is around 84,000 square feet. Again, there's about 14 vacancies. 7 of those, there's a letter of intent or a lease in progress. So there should be some more coming in the pipeline. Some of the things that are coming that were recently announced, Fogo de Chao is going in the Department of Wonder space. So that'll be good for the occupancy numbers to take up that. Buttermilk Baby is going in Bella Green, which is down at the very end. The ownership, that's a BB Italia, is the same owner. It's kind of like an American style diner, which with really unique aesthetics. So we're excited for that to come. Very bright. Just want to warn everybody. But they've gotten some really good traction, and they've got some other food establishments coming. Japaneros is expanding, Jupiter's renewed, there's an escape room that they're working with. So some really cool things coming in the coming years. So still seeing a lot of traction and interest in coming here. So it's been good. So as far as the revenues, the total sales tax in FY '23 was 2.9 million. Mixed beverage was 246,000. For FY '24, total sales tax was coming in at 2.4 million, and then mixed bev around the same, 238,000. As you know, we get this information from Zac Tax. It kind of collects sales tax data citywide, and it allows us to see how our properties are performing. So it's a really good resource for us to have, and seeing how our areas are performing and what our tenants are doing.
Why is the sales tax down so much?
Yeah. I mean, it could be many reasons. I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's a 6-month delay that does account for some of it. And then, I mean, when you kind of take out bigger spaces and shift the use, it can impact it. I can get more information from Reeves, but it just.
20% drop is pretty significant.
Yes, for
We
sure.
haven't had a recession. The economy's been good. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, they're still fighting to get people to town square like anybody else. I mean, I
But
definitely.
they were fighting that in 22 and 23, and
No,
sales tax is much higher, so.
yeah, no, we can definitely reach out and see where they think the issue is coming from. Something that was done in partnership this year, it was a performance agreement approved with the Sugarland Development Corporation and the Sugarland 4B Corporation, with the ownership group. Because of the you know, decline in office and people not wanting to come back to the office, Reeves has kind of worked on their phase 2 of their repositioning strategy. Phase 1 was changing some of the aesthetics for the retail stores, like the changing colors, the landscaping, the overhead lighting. This phase 2 is to expand the landscaping to the other end of the property, and then also enhance the office. So they're going to be doing some investment into building B, which is where Bar Louie is. They're going to be kind of redoing that bottom, right when you walk through the lobby, they're going to be kind of doing that bottom area to the right there, and creating what they're calling the commons. It's going to be like a co-working office meeting space that'll be an amenity for the office users and other tenants on property. And then there's going to be a food and beverage amenity in there as well. It's called Hatchways, where you can actually order food and drinks from, and they can deliver it from your location. And then they're also going to be enhancing the pocket park that's between building B and the parking garage. It's just kind of a blank grassy area right now, so they're going to be enhancing that, adding some seating, some outdoor shading, to make it make more amenities to try to encourage those office users to come back. And then just highlighting some of the large scale events that happen in town square. Obviously, there's a lot that happen throughout the year, but these are some of the larger ones, just to show those attendances that are being brought in. So you're seeing anywhere from 5,000 to around 9,000 on some of these events. And this is only taking into account the placer data of the plaza and kind of the streets leading to, so not counting the rest of the property, but just showing that these events really do help drive people here, and push that sales tax up, and they are important to the success of this property. And then our condominiums, as you know, the taxable value has gone up to around 46 million. They're at 100% occupancy right now. It's kind of a 60-40 split on own to rent, but they are still doing well and fully occupied. And then our hotel, as we know, is always busy. This has a lag as well, how it reports their data to the state, but the hot revenue is coming in at 890,000. It stays very full with weddings and conferences, and then the weekday is really maintained by Smart Financial Center. The Constellation Field really helps them. And then they've had some really good conferences this year. They had ConocoPhillips had 490 room nights. Texas Probation Association had 615 room nights, and then some other ones that had around 900 room nights and 600 room nights. So those really drive that weekday traffic. So that's something that they heavily focus on and will continue to do so. And so with that, I can take any questions or comments.
Any comment?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. And then we consider an action on the annual report of city council.
Okay, good morning. So today I'm going to be going over the fiscal year 2024 annual report for TIRZ 1. So the report is a requirement of chapter 311 of the Texas Tax Code, and it includes the zone's values, revenues, and expenditures. So upon the board's approval, the report will be reviewed and approved by city council and then sent to the state comptroller, as well as the taxing entities of the zone, which is Fort Bend County, Fort Bend ISD, and Fort Bend. Now, some of the basics about the zone is that it was created in 1998 with a 5.5 million tax rate, the base value. And the city, the county, and the two all contribute 100% in the zone in participating, 100% of the property taxes above the base value until the zone expires in 2025. And the increment allowed for the development of Town Square. So for the FY 24 annual report, we're going to start with the revenues. So here we have 2.1 million was received in revenue for the zone, and 810,000 was received from the city's incremental taxes, and 987 from the county, and then 341 from LID 2. And the interest income came close to 21,000. And expenditures for FY 24 amounted to over 2.3 million. About 1.9 million was spent on the assignments to the 4A and 4B corporations. So 1.7 million for 4A and 145,000 for 4B. And about 313,000 was spent on the marketing and public relations, which is the events for PCD, and 70,000 for the events for city sponsored events at the plaza, which includes like today's tree lighting, which we have some of the preparations here in the room. And then 12.5 thousand was spent on contractual and operating expenses. And the zone has no outstanding bond indebtedness, and none was incurred in FY 24. Now for the captured value, this is for tax year 2023. So this came in at 284 million. And with the 5.5 million base value, the total captured value is 278,000. And so, as we mentioned before, the total taxes received for tax year 2023 was the 2.1 million. And for the purposes of the slide, we did remove some of the previous years. But that means that since the creation of the TIRZ in 1998, the zone has received over 25 million in increment. So with that, staff recommends the board approve the report and recommend it to city council for TIRZ 1's 2024 annual.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So be it. That wraps up our business for today, then. Anything else?
You can do a motion to adjourn.
We would have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Yeah, Barrett, we're just talking.